I don't know when this thing goes live. I feel like it takes a couple minutes. Takes a couple minutes to go live. How's it going? Welcome to the class war. Welcome to the struggle. Maybe last night you spent the night distracted by Hollywood and all their glamour and glitz. And Ryan Gosling, the triple threat. He can walk, he can chew gum, and he can act. Oh, what an amazing time to be alive. The Oscars. It's awesome. I don't know if you saw the I'm Just Ken tripet. What's a duet with three people? Anybody know? Leave it in the comments. What's a triple duet? We'll just call it a triple duet. With Ken, Ryan Gosling, Mark Ronson, and Slash. I think they really needed Mark Ronson and Slash to soften the blow of Ryan Gosling singing. And listen, I'm not here to talk trash. I'm really not. He got up there and did it. God bless him. I think my favorite thing about that performance, which I did not watch last night, but here it's #1 trending on YouTube. I do not understand the YouTube trending page. I don't get it. I don't know if you check it at all, but check it. But my favorite thing about that Ken performance was his suit. The sparkly pink suit. Thing's awesome. I'd get married in that if I was to actually have a wedding with my wife. We got married in a parking lot, so. Again, welcome to the class war. Welcome to the struggle. If you can, hit that subscribe button. It's right there in the corner. It's free for you to do. And it means the world to me. I go live every weekday here on YouTube, talking about different things that pertain to the struggle, the class war. Hopefully it can inform, educate, or entertain. Today is going to be kind of a weird one because, again, MrBeast has made it to the trending page. MrBeast is on trending for another wildly original video. Absolutely out of his mind, doing the most crazy stuff for the best YouTuber in the world. $1 commercial versus $10,000 commercial. I mean, where does he come up with this? Truly, MrBeast, where are you getting these ideas? This is like, I thought, what would be the $1 Ken? Obviously, the $10 million Ken is Ryan Gosling, although the $1 Ken might be Ryan Gosling singing. Again, I don't get it. Listen, I know like that people want to see it, but like he can't sing. And again, I'm no ill intent. No, I have no ill will. Not trying to be mean, but just listen to it. It's like when they put Bradley Cooper up there with Lady Gaga. That was even worse, because in a duet with Lady Gaga, like she's got some pipes. And when she belts it out in the shallows, you just look at Bradley Cooper and you're like, oh, buddy, you are not in the shallows. You're in the deep end right now, struggling to swim with her. But with Ryan Gosling, it's like, couldn't they, like, this is Hollywood, right? They got CGI in Hollywood. Do they not have auto-tune? Could they have not have auto-tuned Ryan Gosling's voice just so he's at least like pitch matched, you know? It's a little bit baffling. It's a little baffling that Ken, the $10 million man Ken, Ryan Gosling in his $25,000, $100,000 million suit, sequins mined from the finest emerald mines. Those are pink bleached diamonds that were in Ryan Gosling's suit, found in the unicorn mines of Australia, deep in the heart of the outback. Very rare gems. Ryan Gosling's wearing that suit, and that guy can't have auto-tune? Did nobody consider that? I mean, listen, if I'm Ryan Gosling, right? Did he win an Oscar? I don't know. Again, I didn't watch. It's just #1 on trending. Like they're forcing it down your throat. It'll probably get recommended to you at some point today if you watch YouTube, because Jesus. Oh, and at some point, I do want to talk about one of the greatest YouTubers ever, who I don't know if he's ever made it to the trending page, but he should. Rusty Cage and his latest installment of his Guillotine series. It's fantastic. Go watch Rusty Cage's latest video, The End of the Guillotine Part 4. He built an entire guillotine in his backyard. Rusty Cage, excellent YouTuber, one of the greatest YouTubers, I think, in the history of YouTube. And if you don't believe me, go watch his series. But I mean, if Ryan Gosling is, you know, well paid, handsome, has the greatest, rarest pink diamond suit in the history of mankind, is he embarrassed to say, like, hey guys, I need auto-tune on this mic? They could do it. He could have lip-synced. He could have, and you know he didn't, because nobody's lip-syncing to an off-pitch version of themselves. You're just not doing it. And again, no ill will. Ryan, if you watch this later, which I'm guessing you will, you know, you wake up hungover from the Oscar parties, you flip on YouTube and go, ooh, was Rob live? He was. He goes live 5 days a week. I subscribe. You should too. That's my theory, at least. But he couldn't have like just said, hey, listen, I'm doing a triple duet. Again, if you know what a duet with 3 people is called, please leave it in the comments, because I do not know what it's called. A triplet? A triplet is a musical note, rhythm, whatever. What's up? Good to see you, Tommy Temper, and I know what that means now. Salute. Make sure you subscribed and notified, because I go live 5 days a week. Tommy, I don't know if you've seen the Oscars or Ryan Gosling singing I Am Ken. That's what I'm discussing right now. His voice is the $1 Ken, and you subscribe to Tommy. If you have not seen Rusty Cage's video he released yesterday afternoon, please watch it. I don't think you need to watch the other videos. He builds a guillotine in his backyard. They're just great, so I would say watch them all. But if you just want to start with the last one, it's not like you're going to miss anything. And Rusty Cage also, talk about a triple threat, right? We got Ryan Gosling, #1 trending page right now in YouTube. Ryan Gosling's I Am Ken. Again, he's the $10 million, he's the $1 million Ken. His voice is the $1 Ken, if you're wondering about the title. And the title is a ripoff of MrBeast, just so everybody knows, because MrBeast is on the trending page too, and he just did a $1 commercial versus $10,000 commercial for his new chocolate bar. Which again, MrBeast, where are you coming up with these ideas, buddy? Genius. I can't believe that, you know, your YouTube page isn't bigger. The whip crack smart ideas that you're coming out with are just, I don't know how you thought of this one, the $1 versus $10,000 challenge, MrBeast, which made trending again. And he only has 10 million views, and he has 38 million subscribers to his MrBeast 2 channel. Only 10 million views. So Rusty Cage, he has 1.something million subscribers. When I watched it yesterday, it had 75,000 views, probably more today. But Rusty Cage built a guillotine in his backyard. And talk about a triple threat. This guy can act. He does all the cinematography and all the filming himself, I'm guessing. I don't know if he does his own editing, but I think he's like the one-man YouTuber. I know a lot of YouTubers will hire out editors, film crews or whatever when they need help. As far as I know, Rusty does it all. And he also sings, and he has 2 songs, Let's All Go to the Guillotine, and then the second song, I don't know if it's called Lemonade. Tommy Temper, I'll address that comment in 1 second, because I have thoughts on MrBeast Feastables stuff too. And Rusty Cage, if you watch his latest video, at the end he does 2 songs which are fantastic, and then he does something where, as a creator, I myself was so envious of his content, like the caliber of content Rusty Cage is putting out that is not hitting the trending page. Just as like an artist in general, you know, and I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a good artist. I'm just saying like my life is dedicated to creating something at all times, and when I'm not, it's very frustrating. I feel like I lose my purpose. So for me, if I'm not on YouTube drawing, playing music or something, then, you know, like I get this, I don't know how to explain it, like a knot in my stomach. So again, not saying I'm like a good artist, and that's kind of the beautiful thing about Rusty's latest video, is he talks about how frustrating it is, how it's a series of failures. In fact, that's what I wanted to change my YouTube channel name to. A series of failures. Or a life of failures. I forget. I was thinking about it last night. But Rusty Cage talks about that. How, like, you know, he hasn't hit the trending page. He doesn't say that. But he's like, you know, as a musician, I've only gotten so far. As a YouTuber, I've only gotten so far. Which I thought, like, listen, you got 1 million subs and a great loyal audience that really appreciates what you do. So, you know, I don't know if it's acting or not. That's when it's so believable. Like, Rusty Cage is so believable, you don't know if he's acting. And his stuff is so well written out that there's obviously a lot of truth within his writing. But then at the very end of his video, he shows a sticker, a patch, and a pin that says, "Bring back tradition," and it has a guillotine on it. A guillotine. How do you pronounce that? Guillotine? And I normally do not buy swag, but this time was the one time I was like, if I had some extra dough, I would buy that patch, that swag patch, and put it on every hat. This hat, I'll put it on everything. If I could afford it, I would totally do it. And I know it supports him. So if you want, go check out Rusty Cage's video and watch till the end. Jesus, I do more time promoting other people's work than I do my own. Please hit subscribe. It's free for you and it means the world to me. I'm trying to bring you interesting content, new YouTubers, different kind of art, and everything that's basically in the culture war, or not the culture war, the class war, sorry. There is no culture war, it's a class war, and the struggle, and Rusty Cage's video epitomizes that perfectly. My comment to him was, you know, thank you for articulating what is in my head on a daily basis in this beautiful cinematic video. So it's like a short movie. It's really good. Now, Tommy Temper, you say, I bought MrBeast cookies yesterday and they were hard and stale. I put them outside for the birds. Yo, let me know if the birds reject them, because I would not be shocked. Listen, my kids were excited when MrBeast stuff came out, right? So I forget what we got. They got the gummies. There were gummies or some kind of chocolate, and remember, these are my kids. They'll eat any candy, and that's like, you know, MrBeast puts MrBeast on it, kids are gonna want to buy it. And my kids were like, no thanks, all set. Didn't even finish the candy. Which I was like, are you guys not, like, what is going on? You're not eating this candy? Like, you guys will inhale any candy, anything with sugar in it they want. And they refuse to eat the MrBeast stuff. So I never had the cookies, but I believe you. And just the fact that he's on trending for a $1 versus $10,000 MrBeast chocolate bar commercial video says something. Like, I think that's suspect. Sorry. I don't think that idea is so old, right? Every YouTuber is doing $1 versus $1 million, whatever. MrBeast does it, I feel like, once a month. That's like on rotation for him. And you know why? So just so everybody's aware, I spent 20 years in radio. I understand how hard it is to come up with new segments, new bits. I understand how hard it is to keep entertainment fresh. But at that same, on that same token, on the flip side of that token, it's like, that's your job. That's what you are paid to do. And in this case, YouTube like highlights anything MrBeast does, and it really feels just lazy. I hate to say this, because again, MrBeast, I know I don't know if you're subscribed to my channel. I would imagine you see this in the, you know, not in the trending, but in your feed, and you'd watch. So MrBeast, no ill intent, no ill will. I'm just saying, I think what a lot of people are thinking, like, again, MrBeast with a $1 verse. So many YouTubers do it. MrBeast has it on rotation. You know, once a month, you're going to see one of his channels pump out a $1 verse. He did a $1 car versus $1 million car. And I really was like, where do you find a $1 car, MrBeast? This is not only like lazy content, but it's fantasy. There is no $1 car. And trust me, I don't have a car. This is my wife's car, not mine. And I look. And if I found a $1 car, I wouldn't give a I would just take it. It would be amazing. So at this point, the trending page is Ken, Ryan Gosling singing I Am Ken, and MrBeast challenge that he does every month. Meanwhile, there are absolutely beautiful creators bringing original content that is so well thought out That's really the other issue I have. Like, if I got a bone to pick, it's like, MrBeast, your shit is not thought out. Okay, your $1 versus $10,000 commercial for your chocolate bar was just not thought out. It was like, you're just filming what you're doing that day. You know, there's no interesting content. There's no thought to it. There's no creativity. There's nothing to that video. It is literally like your chocolate bar. It is just junk. Again, no ill intent, no ill will. I'm just saying what people are thinking, and you're probably surrounded by yes men. No one's telling you. Well, I think that kid Chris. I think the kid Chris is the only one that like speaks up, because in the last video he did, where he spent 7 days on an island, Chris was like, "Why are we here, man?" And he was like, "For content." And I was like, "Good on you, Chris." Chris is the only one I think I like. If he's the voice, or she, again, my apologies. But if she's the voice of reason, God bless her, because that's what I respect. You know, someone in the crew that's like, what are we doing? This seems lazy. We've done this. And that's like what's frustrating. Is like YouTube isn't highlighting this content that could bring such a more diverse audience. Well, I guess they don't need to. I guess, you know, this is like, where else are you going to go besides YouTube? They don't care. They're just recycling the same old crap that they think people want, and it's all left to algorithms, and the YouTube algorithm definitely doesn't care about, you know, they can't tell what's interesting or what has thoughtful content or what's well written or well filmed. That's the other thing. Like, this Rusty Cage video is such a dynamic piece of art. It's gorgeous. The way he films it, the way the storyline goes, the writing in it. I mean, I can't say enough amazing things about this video. I highly encourage you go sub to Rusty Cage and watch it. And really, the way he articulates what is happening today and now in this class war, and how he speaks about the rich, and one of the most striking lines, something that impacted me the most, was how he talked about how maybe wanting a catastrophic event is because some apocalypse, Armageddon type event has no preference or bias to the wealthy or the poor. It treats everyone as equals. And that was such a profound moment in that video for me. I was like, that perfectly articulates how I feel about those style of things. So I just can't recommend it enough. I don't mean to spend so much of my life talking about other YouTubers, but if you don't know, like Tommy Temper said he just subbed to Rusty, and you saw he was live. He looks interesting. If he's live, I haven't caught one of his lives, but I would watch him. Rusty Cage it's sad. It's like my buddy Robbie Road Steamer. He's on YouTube too. Go check him out, Robbie Road Steamer. He's a artist, activist. He travels around with Vermin Supreme, who constantly runs for president, and Vermin Supreme promises everyone a mini pony if he wins. It's very satirical, but at the same time, Vermin Supreme does do like debates with other candidates. He was in New Hampshire debating, and he sprinkled glitter on one of the candidates and said, "I'm making him gay." It is very satirical because this guy was, you know, very homophobic. I'm guessing. I didn't know too much about the scenario. I just watched the videos. But he does stunts like that, and they're activists. And Robbie, God, he's such an amazing person. He's like if Abby Hoffman and Andy Kaufman, I know those names are very similar. Abby Hoffman, activist from the 60s, trial of Chicago 7. You can watch it on Netflix, find out a little more about him. And Abby Hoffman, obviously a local from Massachusetts, Worcester. And then Andy Kaufman, the comic. But Robbie always talks about how, you know, Bill Hicks never got to see his day. How he, you know, died very young. Meanwhile, we got like the Dennis Learys, who Dennis Leary kind of just ripped off Bill Hicks's whole bit. And how, you know, we have all these other people, but the real genius, the true artist usually doesn't get that kind of glory, or doesn't get to see their day. You know, even with so many artists, these artists that, whether they're writers or painters, they create all this art, and during their life they don't get to see the appreciation of it. And then once they pass, you know, people, I guess it's because a lot of these cats are before their time, you know, like they're speaking the language of the future. where they're speaking a language so deep in art that it takes people a lot of time to appreciate it. And that's how I feel with Rusty Cage, this YouTuber. Like, he's on the pulse of what is trending in our country, across the world. He built a guillotine, how do you pronounce that? Anybody know? In his backyard. Built it from the ground up by himself. Filmed the whole thing. Amazing. A working guillotine. And he finished it in this last video, and it's breathtaking. And then he made patches, stickers, and pins that say "Bring back tradition" with the picture of the guillotine on it. Guillotine. How do you say that? It's amazing. It's my favorite video on YouTube. There might not be a better video, in my opinion. And this guy's buried. I mean, I have notifications on, but he's buried by the algorithm. And who cares what YouTube thinks? This is art. And to censor art should be a crime. It's like I tell my kids, you know, because they'll be like, "Can I say this word?" I'll be like, "No, you can't say that word." And they go, "What if I'm singing it in a song?" And I go, "Well, okay, then you can." Well, that's kind of the rule, you know? If you're imbibing in art, there should be really no restrictions. I mean, certain restrictions, especially if you're dealing with kids, but all in all, art should have the freedom to go in those taboo corners where people normally don't go. That's what art is for. And it feels like YouTube just has no respect for art in general. And again, look at the trending page. Number 1 on trending, Ryan Gosling as Ken singing "I Am Ken." And he might be the $1 million Ken, but his voice is the dollar version, the dollar store Ken. They couldn't give him auto-tune? Like, this is not a futuristic technology. You can auto-tune anyone. We got the app on our phone. T-Pain gave us auto-tune on our phones. And they couldn't auto-tune Ryan Gosling? Jesus. They couldn't have deep-faked his voice? Look. Oh. Like, I was embarrassed. You know, I'm like, a guy like that, just church it up. They CGI, they Photoshop everything. They can't church up his voice. Again, no ill will. I'm not being mean. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. Well, God, you get your feelings hurt from that. I mean, maybe you're tone deaf. Maybe you thought you were singing on key. I mean, Jesus, they put Slash and Mark Ronson next to you to distract from the fact that your voice ain't good, buddy. Again, you know, no disrespect. Your mom should have told you this when you were little. She probably didn't. Drinking my blonde lemonade. And then we got MrBeast. So trending number 1 is Ken. Then the rest of the stuff is the Oscars, which some of that stuff I get. You know, like, that's newsworthy, even though it shouldn't be. It's distraction worthy from people's everyday lives and the fact that we can't afford cereal anymore. But then you scroll down in trending. If you haven't, go to the trending page on YouTube, and you scroll down a little bit and you see MrBeast 2 channel, and it's the $1 commercial versus $10,000 commercial for his new Feastables chocolate bar. And I'm like, Jesus, somebody needs to count. Maybe I'll do it. I'll count how many $1 verse videos MrBeast has done across all his channels. I bet it's over 100. Because at this point, it's like, bro, what are you even doing? Come up with a new challenge. Like, do something new. How do you have 242 million subscribers on one channel, 38 million on another, and you're just recycling your ideas all the time? Like, is there no one creative there? And the tough part is like, when you're working, so my theory on most 9-to-5 jobs are like, they keep you so dull-drummed and they sap so much of your life force out of you that it's hard to be creative when you go home. You know, like when I'm doing this live, it is tough to push out some energy and enthusiasm or just to be optimistic about anything, because you're just dreading the next day of work. You're exhausted from that day of work. It saps the life out of you, that elevator crap playlist they play, and the way that people just, you know, can be vapid all the time. So it's tough to be creative once you get outside of work. Mr. Beast and your lazy idea, again, no disrespect, I'm just being honest. You need someone in your circle like this. You can't be filled with yes men, bro. Yes men, bro. That should be the title of your video. Yes men, bro. But Mr. Beast, you make enough money where you don't have to work a boring, life-sapping job. You have a team around you that don't have to focus on bills and the stress of affording cereal. Your job is creativity. You know, like fly to Europe for the day. Take up all the carbon emissions you need. Buy some carbon footprint stickers or whatever they sell that's a scam in the government to offset your carbon footprint. And go to like the Swiss Alps and smoke a bowl and just look out and come up with something new. Because your shit is lazy, bro. And again, sorry for swearing, but I use it when it's appropriate, and that was appropriate. And it's frustrating, especially when you have guys like Rusty Cage who are out there grinding it out, probably a one-man team. Maybe he has a little bit of help, but I know he writes his own, plays his own music. He obviously writes his own and directs his own scripts. That's a lot to do solo. And Mr. Beast has an army of workers around him, and all he can come up with, or what gets him on trending, is the $1 verse, $10,000 idea. Who came up with that first? I guarantee it wasn't him. So that's a rip-off idea of somebody else. And this is the biggest YouTuber of all time, if you're wondering why I'm going after him. Again, no ill will. I'm just like Ryan Gosling's voice. It's like, these things need to be said. We can't all be praising people for the attempt. Where's the everybody gets a trophy crowd? I believe in that when it comes to like kids and encouraging people to be confident in themselves. We're talking about the biggest YouTuber in the world and the biggest movie stars in the world. I don't believe in that case, you know, we should be pulling any punches. I believe when it comes to YouTube's biggest creator in the history of their platform, I think somebody needs to say it. And if nobody else is gonna, I'll do it. I'll do it. Mr. Beast, your videos are lazy. Do better. I gotta wrap this up. So if you can, hit subscribe. It's free for you. It means the world to me. I go live every weekday on the class war, the struggle, and hit the notification bells. Because if you didn't know, I can give you a word. I can give you my word on that. I'll go 5 days a week. I can't give you my word on what time. So if you hit the notification bell, when I go live, you'll be notified. Sometimes it's later in the day. Sometimes it's twice a day if I have a guest on. This week, I think I'll be doing it from Salem a couple days. Today, I couldn't do it outside because it's 40 degrees, but the wind is blowing. The wind is sharper than a razor today. This New England wind is cutting through your soul. And when that wind blows, it goes down to like 29 degrees. But good news, weather in New England is bipolar, like most of the people, and it's going to be 60 in a couple days. So I'm going to go down to Salem. If you caught the live stream last week on Friday, I was in Salem. I wanted to take everybody that's joined the class war, which I don't know what to call people that are subscribers to my channel. Hoods? I don't know. Leave it in the comments if you know. I want to figure out something so I could say, what's up, hoods? Or what's up, I don't know, crows, comrades. Ooh, what's up, comrades? But if you were with me on Friday last week, I was walking around downtown Salem, and there's an amazing shop. I think they have a website, and the shop is called Flying Monkey. It's t-shirts and they're satire, they're parody shirts. So my favorite shirt from there is the Wu-Tang W, but instead of saying Wu-Tang on it, you know, the big yellow Wu-Tang shirt, it says witches. And on the back it says protect your neck, Salem, Mass. And they do new designs. They do a lot of Boston designs, a lot of cultural logos, and they rebrand it for the city of Salem. So I wanted to go in there. It's a mother and her son who run the shop. The son does all the designs. Great little local store. Love to support them. It's my daughter's birthday coming up, my wife's birthday, so I want to get them a shirt there. But I also wanted to take, you know, all my subscribers, which thank you so much if you have subscribed. It really means the world to me. I'm getting new subscribers every day, and I can't do this without you guys. Like, if I'm gonna beat Mr. Beast and bring real content, I'm never gonna do. Maybe I will do a $1 versus $10,000 thing when I have the money to. and I'll just do it satirically. I'll do the $1 MrBeast video versus the $10,000 MrBeast video, and we'll just go hard at him until he comes up with some better content. So thank you for subscribing. But I really wanted to show you this shop, downtown Salem. And when I went there, the door was unlocked, the lights in the front were on, but the lights in the back were off, and I was yelling into the back saying like, hello, is anybody here? Because I don't know the mom, but every time I go in there, she's there, and she's wicked cool. And I kept yelling in the back, hoping she would come out, and just know it was very eerie. Because I'm like, are they not open, but they forgot to lock up yesterday? And I didn't know what to do, and I went in a couple times yelling in the back, and still no one, and I waited, so I just left because it was just a weird situation, and the way I look, you never want to be in those situations. So I'm going to try to go back this week, either Thursday or Friday, so please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because if I go back on like, Friday at 10 in the morning, and you want to see this shop in downtown Salem, you got to hit the notification bell so you get alerted. And I'll take you around that shop and show you all the designs. Usually the people in Salem, like I did a video on the wand shop. There's like a Harry Potter shop that sells wands. Very cool looking wands for all different kind of spell casting, wizards or warlocks or sages or mages, witches. Cool ass store, and they let me film in there. So a lot of these shops will let you film because they understand it's Salem. It's a very unique area. I always just ask though, just to make sure they're cool with it. But I wanted to take you around to a couple of the shops in Salem because there's really nothing like these stores anywhere else in America, or at least anywhere I've lived. I have some like head shops and stuff in Florida that are like hippie-ish, but this is like, psychic readers and magic wands and Salem satire parody shirts. There's really nothing like it. It's pretty awesome. If you're faint of heart or very sensitive to certain cultural things, then it might not be for you. If you're from the Bible Belt, it might be a scary scene for you, but that's true. Witches and wizards, tarot readings, doing spells. Yeah. The shops around here are amazing, but I will say this: if you're coming to Salem, just be careful because it's a little overpriced. You're paying for like the tourist area, and there are shops that are not directly downtown. There's like a shop over where I live, run by two brothers. That's been the feature in a few magazines, and they sell kind of the same stuff, just the prices are a touch different. So if you do visit Salem, and you're on that main strip, that walking mall, the Cobblestone Mall, where the PBD Essex Museum is, and a couple of the haunted haunted walking tours in the Burying Point, that graveyard, the oldest graveyard I think in Massachusetts. It's from like 1632. One of the Mayflower captains is there. One of the judges from the trials is there, I believe. I can take you around there too. That's my favorite graveyard in the world. But just beware, you're going to get charged top dollar for the location. That's all. The world is full of spiritual wickedness and spiritual radicalness. Let's be honest with that. There is wickedness, but there also is, it can't just be dark. To have dark, you have to have the light. And I believe in that, truly. And I believe that, that both encompasses everything. And you got to find that light, the radical goodness in things. All right, so I got to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please, begging you. I'm trying to get to Rusty Cage status. 1 million subs. We're 100,000th of the way, I think. I'm bad at math. But we're almost there. And I can't do it without you. So please hit subscribe, hit the notification bells, leave a comment. Let me know if there's a spot in Salem you want to see, and I'll do a live from there. As long as the wind isn't cutting like a razor, I'll do it there. But the weather's starting to change. So this week I think it's going to be 60. I'm going to go outside somewhere. This is still a beautiful location. I love this area. And it's flooded. It was raining, so the tide is very high and the ducks are having a hard time swimming because the wind is blowing so hard. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for checking out the channel. Remember, I go live every weekday, 5 days a week. I can't tell you what time, so subscribe and get the notifications. So when I do go live from Salem, you could be there. I want to show it to you, or you can watch it later. Whatever you want, but you got to subscribe. Please do that. All right, thanks so much for watching. Peace.